Hi guys, welcome back. It is me, Silverback, with part 2 of Meet the Autobots, and we're going to start with Double Take. He is an awesome Autobot. As you can see, he has a founder status, so that's one of the special things I suppose you say about Autobots. You know, you can buy the packages, and it gives you this advantage of having these badass robots giving you all the help you need to conquer those nasty, evil Decepticons. Let's start off with his primary weapon. As I said in the previous video before, the primary weapon, all the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 all correspond to your numeric keys on your keyboard, so it allows you to use them. So if you press 1, you end up with the I'm probably going to say this really badly, but it's the Assail laser rifle. It's a long-range weapon. Now, it's 7 out of 8 for a long-range weapon. That is absolutely awesome. Some great firepower behind that laser rifle right there. Shield damage is 3 out of 8, and spark damage is 1 out of 8. I love this weapon. It's absolutely brilliant. Also, then we move on to number 2, which is the Solo SMGS, which is mid-range. It's 4 out of 8 on range. Shield damage is 3 out of 8 and 7 out of 8 on spark damage. A nice size rifle there. And then we head on to the Badlands Saw, very much like the axes that you get, and also in other robots you'll see in this Meet the Autobot series. Other weapons that aren't usually guns or anything like that. So we look at the primary fire. Range is 1 to 8, so it's a melee, close range, but the damage is 5 out of 8. Spark damage is 5 out of 8 also on this weapon. So if you're looking for some close range combat, this is your bad boy that you'll want to take into any battle with you. Then we move on to the Plasma Taser. Okay, now all nearby enemies affected by an interface debuff take an initial hit of shield damage. Also, all nearby enemies receive a shield damage over time on their interface. Okay, so that's the number 4. Number 5 is Bulletproof. It reduces the incoming damage by 40%. It's a nice figure there. The duration increases for each hit received to a cap of 15 hits. Okay, then finally on this Double Take Autobot, Cyber Warfare. On activation, this increases the duration of boost buffs on Double Take and nearby allies, and increases the durations of interface and debuffs on a nearby enemy. As the other Autobots you see, you do have the ability to equip a probe or any consumable that you require on that side there. As with any as well, you can also change the colour of your Autobot or Decepticon as you wish. Moving on now, we're going to go on board with Ripjaw. He is a heavy lifter. He is absolutely amazing. Love the paintwork on this dude. When you put him into his vehicle mode, it looks so gorgeous. Now we're going to start off with, again, the Maxima missile launcher. Now the range is 7 out of 8. Again, same as before. It's a nice long range weapon. Now the shield damage is 4 out of 8, but the spark damage is 2 out of 8. Okay. Then we move on to the Vice Heavy Grenade Launcher. The range is full to the brim. It's maxed out. It's 8 out of 8. Shield damage, however, is 2 out of 8, but the spark damage increases to 4 out of 8. Awesome weapon. Now we move on with the Galactic Axe. Close range combat. This is awesome. Again, be right up to the battlefront with that. Now the 1 out of 8 range, obviously being a handheld weapon, again, does mean you need to go into that combat. But the shield damage is 2 out of 8 and the spark damage is 5 out of 8. Some high risk damage from that Galactic Axe right there. Moving on to this side of things, Heat Vents is the first one that we look at. Periodically deals damage to nearby enemies and applies and refreshes on them the cooked circuit's damage over time. Trauma debuff, which benefits any Ripjaw warriors Axe S Tech. So basically, anything you're using with your axe, anything it helps with those, and helps a benefit on that side of weapons. Also causes heavy grenade launch attacks to apply the cooked circuits debuff. Lovely one. Take what you will from that. Then we're going to head on to the Dynametal Flex. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Now this reduces the incoming ranged damage by 50% or 90% while stationary. So if you don't know what that means, if you're moving, it's 50%. If you remain in the same spot, it's 90%. Now, this also reduces incoming melee damage by 27% and 15% while stationary. So in other words, if you're moving, it's 27% and it's 15% while you're standing still. Finally, onto the support strikes. Now, this causes heavy grenade launchers explosions to fuel the S-Tech gauges and reduce the equipment cooldowns of allies caught in the blast, and also gives them a small repair. Other Ripjaw warriors are immune to that support strike. So that's absolutely awesome. Again, you can change them up. Put some resprays on him, see what happens there. Moving on to Catapult. Catapult is an absolutely phenomenal Autobot. And she is an amazing character to use. I say, yes, that's correct. A she, one of a female Autobot, is not something you very rarely see, but she is in here. And now, as you said, it sees well, I'll repeat that. Now, as you see underneath her name, it says scraps from the hip. This is truly, couldn't put this better from any other angle. Now, this is the Nimbus Blaster Rifle. Long range, 6 out of 8 for long range. Shield damage is 3 out of 8. And 3 out of 8 for spark damage. For a long range weapon, it's pretty even across the board there. Then we have the Xeno Shotgun. Short range, now obviously short range weapons, if you're looking at melees or anything like that, axes, that's something that you want to look at. Now, it is 2 out of 8, 2 out of 8 for shield damage, but spark damage is 4 out of 8. So, mid-range, a mediocre weapon, to be honest with you. Then we look at the Cygnus Sniper Rifle. Now, this is what you want. This is a long range, fully maxed out 8 out of 8. Shield damage is 4 out of 8. Spark damage is 4 out of 8. My choice of weapon is this bad boy right here. Now, moving on to the next one, which is the Phase Chamber. All attacks bypass shield and damage spark directly. Works in great combination with this rifle right here. Brilliant combo right there for the Autobot. Now, next on to the Neutral Motivator. Increases the damage dealt by 40% and also critical hit bonus damage by 100%. That is a boost, as you can see in the brackets on your screen. And then we head on to the Energon Transfusion. Now, basically repairs Catapult each time she deals damage greater if damaging a spark. Which, obviously you're using if you press number 6, and you are using the Sniper Rifle, which does give a 4 out of 8 on the damage, as well as the also Xeno Shotgun. That again also works in great combination. Same as the other Autobots, you do have your facilities down here to add any consumable that you require. Finally, in this part 2, we are going to look at Frontline Gatecrasher. He is exactly what he says. He is one beefy mother trucker. Great Autobot to use. Very versatile. Love this guy. I'll talk about the weapons as we go on, but I'll talk a little bit more in a minute. Now, obviously, if you're going to look here, the first one is the Orbital Minigun. Range 5 out of 8. Mid-range. Can be used a bit better on long range. It does affect damage, but bang on for the mid-range. The closer you get to them, the more that they're likely to attack you. So mid-range is quite a comfortable position to be at with this Autobot. Now, the shield damage is 3 out of 8, as well as spark damage being 3 out of 8. Heading on to number 2, which is right-hand axes. Now, these axes are absolutely awesome. I said, yes, axes, not 1, not 2. Okay, now, obviously, that range is 1 to 8, so it is close combat, but it's 4 out of 8 for shield damage, 4 out of 8 for spark damage, another great close weapon. Now, it's the high-rise hammer. This beast. It's like the Thor hammer of Autobots. Now, the range is 1 out of 8, obviously being a close range weapon. Shield damage 2 out of 8, but the spark damage 6 out of 8. This thing bangs a punch. If you have a nail that you want hitting, use the high-rise hammer without a doubt. It has some impact on it. Now, obviously, you have the reduction inducer, slows nearby enemies by 30%. So if you're looking for that close range combat, this comes into great play. Now, obviously, the damage they receive by 50%. That's an increase on that damage. So if you're looking at getting into those close combat situations, press number 4 on your keyboard while having number 3 in your are in your hands, and then attack like a beast. Now, deflection grid. This causes incoming ranged attacks to miss. Obviously, if you're having any attacks coming in from the Decepticons, this will help you miss them. Also gives melee attacks 25% miss chance, and changing form removes that effect. So if you're in robot form and you press number 5, if you then turn into your auto vehicle, you will have that taken off you. Now, also we have infantry overdrive. This gives frontline a 60% speed boost, but changing form removes that effect. So if you're in a car and you're 60% speed boost and you change it, you are then reduced by that point. Alloys, I will repeat that, alloys and nearby at the time of activation also receive a 30% speed boost. Other frontline warriors are immune. And that's absolutely awesome. Guys, don't forget, we are at Eurogamer next week. If you want to come and say hi, please do so. We are on the Transformers Universe stand. We'll be streaming live on our Twitch channel with myself and Shawnee Pones, giving you the latest action that you can get from the Transformers Universe. If you wish to hit us up, we are available on Twitter. If you want to know more, then head over to transformersuniverse.com. All the information is on that screen right there. So as I said before, if you do want to respray, you can put it to anybody you want it. Look at that. We can place it onto that, and then onto that. So you have other ones as well on your right hand side. These are own sprays, and these ones on your left are the buy resprays. Thanks ever so much for tuning in, guys. It's been another awesome episode. Look out for part 3 coming to you very, very soon. Take it easy.